We are on page 3 and 4, still going over the greetings. Now, the last video, I was just having you repeat the greeting phrases after me. This video, I want to basically talk about the cultural parts of greeting, which means kind of dissecting what we just went through in the last video and introducing some terms that you may hear in Haiti and it's not in the workbook because that's life. You're learning a language, you're gonna go there may be some surprises. I remember when I was in when I was not in Italy, when I was in high school, I took Italian because I already knew French. Obviously, I already knew another language, Haitian Creole, and I wanted to try another Latin-based language. And when I was learning it, I had an Italian friend, Josephine, and she said to me, you know, if you speak to my family or if you go to Italy, what you're learning in class, you're not necessarily going to hear because it's more proper. So in the workbook, you're going to hear the language that's in there. But as you develop relationships with Haitians, they're going to start throwing out some slang or different ways of saying things. And that's what we're going to touch on this cultural tip. Number 1, do we say Kijan or comment? Remember, you're on page 3 in your Learn Haitian Creole workbook that you have Kijan or comment. They are the same. We have what I like to call pure Creole. Kijan is pure Creole. Comment is from French, so it is French Creole. Will people understand Kijan and comment? In every single corner of Haiti, you will be understood when you say Kijan and when you say comment. They both mean how. Kijan ouye, how are you? Okay? So you can use Kijan or comment. If you want to ask someone, how are you? Kijan ouye. You learned that already. What if you want to ask someone, how is your sister? Not how be you, how be your sister. You would say, Kijan se ouye. How is Kijan, sister belonging to you, possession, possessor, se ou ye. Ye just means to be. Is, am, are, and it is. Ye at the end means to be. And the reason is put at the end. We will go over that later when we do the say and yay video. Right now, I don't want you to try to break down these sentences. Creole and English are not compatible. You don't want to go, how, Kijan, are. Why isn't are here? How is your sister? Our syntax, our sentence structure is not like English. So these are phrases you want in your gut. You don't want it in your head. You want it in your gut. You want to get it and understand when to use it. How is your sister? How, sister belonging to you, be. Répétez. Kijan ou ye. Kijan ou ye. So you would say Kijan ou ye for how are you. And now I'm going to give you how is your sister. Kijan se ou ye. Remember to répéter when I pause. Kijan se ou ye. The whole thing again. Kijan se ou ye. Very good. So now you know how are you can be comment ou ye or Kijan ou ye. How's your sister? Kijan se ou ye or I want you to répéter comment se ou ye. Very good. Very good. I'm trusting that you're répéter after me. Now, you will notice that I don't have the me too answer. What if you ask someone Kijan ou ye and they say bien bien, merci. This is all on page 3. And when they say bien, merci, you want to say, well, I'm bien too. You can say moi-même tout. Now, moi-même tout is moi, and the word même that you see on line 3 of the greeting. Bien, merci, et ou même, M-E-N-M. Moi-même tout is T-O-O. In English, it's T-O-U. In Kreyòl. So if you want to say me too, répétez, moi-même tout. Now, I've heard weird ways of saying mem because people see M-E-N-M and they're like, mem, like remember. You are a member of the Learn Haitian Creole with Gloria group, okay? So I want you to répéter again, me too, moi-même tout. In English, if you want to say, I did. Who did that? I did. In Creole, we do not say I did. We would say moi-même. Because the myself, which is what moi-même means, is not like an English translation. It's an emphasis on me. It's emphatic. We have a lot of expressions where it's just we're emphasizing something. Because I could say who did it? Moi, me. But if someone says who did it, I might say moi-même, like me, myself. We're being emphatic. So let's repeat that again. Moi-même. Moi-même. Very good. Now, a lot of people tell me they have a hard time distinguishing this question. Qui Jean ou ye versus qui Jean ou rele. I want you to write down on page 3. Ye versus rele. How are you versus how are you called? So I want you to think of yay. When you're happy, you might say yay. How are you? Happy? Yay. Qui Jean ou yay. How you be? Whereas rele has L's in it, just like the word call. How are you called? This tip will help you to remember yay means to be. So if someone says qui Jean ou yay, they want to know how you're doing. But if someone says qui Jean ou rele, there are L's in to call and there's an L in rele. They're asking you, how are you called? This is a tip again that is going to absolutely help you. Now, you may be wondering, why do we say qui non ou and qui Jean ou rele? Why don't we just say qui non ou? Why don't we just say what's your name? Why do we say how are you called? Because we have an old culture. We still call people by various names. American English might say the term nickname. And it sort of is. So in our culture, I will ask another Haitian, from Haitian to Haitian, qui Jean ou rele. I will even in fact say, how do people call you? I will say that because I will want to know what's your nickname. You might be Tirat, little rat. You might be Tisurit, little mouse, because you're quick with it. You might be T Blanc. We have a lot of Haitians who are tall, very dark complexion, and their nickname is Little White, T Blanc, because maybe when they were born, the coloring of their skin didn't show yet. And we're like, oh, look at the little T Blanc. Look at the T Blanc. And that's their nickname for life. Nicknames come from characteristic traits or an experience you've had that everyone remembers. I believe it's the same in most cultures. I can't really speak on that. It is very strong in our culture. It's like a term of endearment. We love to give people nicknames and we will call them that for the rest of their life. Not in church, not in the government, but we actually do. We had a president called Michel Martelly and we called him tête calée, because he had no hair on his head. So we called him shaved head. We literally called him that. So when you ask someone, qui Jean ou relais, be careful because they may give you their nickname. If you're doing medical work, or if you're inscribing in English, it's registering someone for school, you want to say qui non ou, because non is name, relais is to call. Qui Jean ou relais, how do they call you? How are you called? Qui non ou, what's your name? Very, very different, okay? So, what I want to say to you is, you might hear some terms that are not in the workbook. And I told you that earlier, and we're gonna touch on them, okay? I notice I keep dancing. I'm Haitian, I dance, I move when I'm excited. You can be excited. I don't want you to get caught up right now in writing these down in perfect spelling. Just write it down how you feel it should be written down. And here's another advice for you. Listen to the alphabet sound videos as often as possible to where you get to the point where you are completely confident writing and reading Creole. This will be easy because it is phonetic. You never have to question certain sounds in Creole. You do maybe want to look at the going deeper with the alphabet video, because that's where I am teaching you the things that are tricky because they're not compatible with English. When you get those down and I'm telling you various words that are not in the workbook and expressions, you will confidently write them down. So if you're in America, sometimes someone will say, hello, how are you? Very rarely will a friend say that to me. I actually have friends will say, hey, how you doing? Right? Hey, what's up? They're not telling me what is up. And then I have to look up and be like, what is up? Or what's up with us? I know they're asking me how I'm doing, but there are various ways of saying that in English, and there are various ways of saying that in Creole. I want to give you two of them. One is sac passe. Sac passe is said excitedly. We do not say sac passe because that means what happened. Sac passe. 80%. Remember that 80% rule is really important. And if you don't remember the rule, go back and watch that video that you downloaded after you liked it when you said you got it. Okay? So the 80% is, it's not what we say, but it's how we say it, how we present it to you. Okay? Sac passe. I see my friend and I'm like, hey, what's going on? So I want you to répéter. Sac passe. Sac passe. Now, when asked sac passe, there is only one response that can be given unless someone is really not doing well. And that response is ma boule. The question is asked excitedly. The answer is given excitedly. Ma boule means I'm on fire. Things aren't good. Things are hot. And by the way, that expression ma boule is the opposite of in the 70s, which is where this sac passe ma boule started. People would say, what's going on? And someone would say, I'm chilling. Well, it's hot in Haiti. We're not chilling. We're on fire. We're hot. Okay? So when someone says to you, sac passe, I want you to répéter after me the answer. Ma boule. Ma boule. Ma boule. The next one you may be asked is actually just as common as sac passe, ma boule. This one is sac ap fait. This is said with expression, the shoulder going up like, hey, what's going on? Sac ap fait. Don't get caught up in how to write it, how to spell it. I just want you to focus on how to say it so that every time you look at this cultural tip video, you're focusing on how to say these phrases. You may read and write Creole, but at the end of the day, that is not going to guarantee your ability to communicate and comprehend the language. That is why this program is so successful, because I incorporate everything where you're only hearing sometimes and not seeing, even though you kind of want to. Okay? So, sakapfet is like, what's doing? The old American expression, the old English expression. Hey, what's doing? And the response would be like, I'm in top form, okay? Or I'm in ship shape, which is what the Navy had to be in ship shape before being able to get back on the ship after traveling overseas. So these are where our expressions with the sac apfet and the sac passé, we did adopt some of these expressions from English. So I want you to repeat the sac apfet after me. Répétez. Sac apfet. Sac apfet. Sac apfet. I'm going to do it one more time for you to répéter. Sac apfet. Now, the answer for sac apfet would be mon femme. You're going, what is mon femme? That's weird. What just happened? Do not worry about it. Your brain is going, ignore your brain for a moment and focus on just repeating after me. Mon femme. Mon femme. Mon femme. It's a M, A, and that, drop the jaw, femme, ma femme, ma femme, ma femme. Very good. Now, in English, if I haven't seen someone for a while, I would say, I miss you. In Creole, the word for to miss is manquer. M-A-N-K-E. Manquer means to miss, like you wanted to hit a ball, but you missed it. So we don't use that. That is why you will notice in the workbook on page 4, we would say, I remember you, m'songeo. We would say, I'm happy to see you, m'content well, because in Creole, we're very literal. We don't say an expression for deep things. For deep things, we say exactly what we mean, or we use proverbs. That's a whole other ball game, okay? So if you're wanting to tell your friend, I miss you, go to the I remember you, m'songeo, or to the I'm happy to see you when you see the person and want them to know you miss them. When content well, okay? Those are in the greetings video and in the workbook where you're just repeating after me. So I'm not focusing on that. What I want to introduce to you is what if you have just made an acquaintance? Ooh, old English. Basically, what if you were just introduced to someone? What if you just met someone? We use the old European standard, right? You remember that. I said that about Haitian Creole. So if we use the old European standard, we would be saying, I'm happy to make your acquaintance. Listen up. Mwen content faire connaissance ou. Connaissance ou. Acquaintance belonging to you. Possession, possessor rule. Remember that. Acquaintance belonging to you. Possession, possessor. Connaissance ou. I'm happy to make your acquaintance. So now I'm going to say regular speed, and then I'm going to slow down for you to répéter after me. Mwen content fait connaissance ou. Mwen content. You hear the on, un. Moins content, répétez, moins content, fait, connaissance. Connaissance. Ou, moins content, fait connaissance ou. I'm going to make it a little bit longer, okay? Moi content fait connaissance ou. 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 Remember, if this feels like, ooh, I need to go back and slow it down, go back and slow it down. Don't feel like, why am I not getting it? You're learning a new language and you just learned this phrase. It's going to take a while. It may take weeks. Remember, you only thumbs up a video when you go, I get it. But you keep watching it again and again after you download it onto your flash drive or your laptop. You want to keep watching it until you're like, I've perfected it. So I'm not looking for you to give it a thumbs up saying you've perfected it. A thumbs up just means you get the idea and it helps you to know you don't need to look back at that video anymore. You already downloaded it. Okay? That's the only thing I want you to think. What about if someone says, hey, did you meet up with so-and-so? And you want to say, yeah, I met her. Like we weren't supposed to meet, not meet up. We weren't supposed to meet. We met up. I went to the grocery store. Oh, I met with, in Old English, I encountered my daughter at the store. I didn't know I was going to encounter her. Okay? I'm not making her acquaintance. I'm encountering her. The word for to encounter is contrer. K-O-N, which is O-T-R-E. One word, contrer. Contrer means to meet someone, encounter someone that you may possibly already know. Okay? So if you want to say, I encountered her, moi contré li. Moi, répétez, moi contré li. Do you hear that contré? It's got the T-R-E at the end. It's not contré because this is not English. It's Haitian Creole. You are speaking Creole. So the T goes t-t-t and the R-E goes re. Tongue is down. Re, contré. Répétez, contré. Contré. Moi contré li. Moi contré li. Very good. So I do want to teach you that contrer does mean to meet and encounter, but some people get it confused with another word you will hear. Raconter. R-A-K-O-N-O-T-E. There is no R in this. It's not contrer, to encounter. It's raconter. If you have a story to tell, something happened to you today, you want to tell me about it? We love stories. We're a storytelling culture. We are a storytelling culture. So my daughter, who is Haitian American, tells me, I'm not born in the United States, so I didn't learn like American idioms, metaphors. I think I make up my own. And I didn't, learn if someone says, hey, what did that lady tell you? To go, she said blah, blah, blah. I didn't learn how to do it. I'd go, oh, so when I went to see her, I went to her house. Oh, wow. She had this beautiful green velvet chair and she gave me a cup of tea. My daughter calls me an ongoing commentary, not in a negative way. She's like, Mom, I'm in the car with you. We're driving and you see a woman pass by and you say, wow, look at that lady. I like her hat. Blah, 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 blah. Because we are still a storytelling people. So if you have something to talk about, I would say to you, dis-moi, tell me. I might say, dis-moi, Tell me. I want you to répéter, tell me, dis-moi. Dis-moi. D-I. Dis-moi. But more than likely, culturally, I would tell you to recount it to me. Racontez-moi. Racontez-moi is contracted together. Racontez-moi. We contract it and say, racontez. Don't try to think and process it. If you want to tell someone, recount that to me. Recount that story to me. Retell your experience. I want you to répéter what you'd say. Racontez. That R-A, ra, 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 ra. I want you to répéter. Ra, 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 ra. Racontez. I want you to répéter one more time. Racontez. Now, I know that you notice the word États-Unis does not look like the United States. It is État, state, Zini, united. That's what we're saying. So if you're going, how do I remember that? It's so difficult. Well, think of fettuccine, linguine. Think pasta. États-Unis. I want you to repeat after me. États-Unis. 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 Now, usually a proper name is not changed in our culture. If your name is Mary, you can tell a Haitian, moi rele Mary. I am called Mary. Non moi c'est Mary. My name is Mary. Name belonging to me is Mary. You can absolutely say that, but you can say Marie if you want. My husband's name is John, and because I'm Haitian, obviously, when I introduced him, I said his name was Jean, because that is the Creole counterpart of John, just like the Creole counterpart of James is Jacques. So it just may happen that you might say your name is Lovey, which is actually very Haitian, and a Haitian might say Lovey, because we are putting our accent on it, just like we don't do an R. Ugh. If you say your name is Ryan, you're going to be called 9 times out of 10, Ryan. Okay? So if you are from Holland, go ahead and say you are from Holland. If you are from Australia, go ahead and say you're from Australia. When I was in Australia and Holland, everyone said that people just said Australia or Holland with a Haitian Creole accent when they were in Haiti. But in Germany, I have some friends that are on here from Germany. You basically are called Allemand. It's like saying almond. Allemand. Okay? But if you're from the United States is called États-Unis. But we call the people from the United States Americain. If they say, what are you? Instead of where are you from? Qui côté ou sorti? États-Unis. Qui sa ou ye? What are you? We really don't do that culturally. We don't say, what are you? We usually just say, where do you come from? But if you want to say, I'm American, just say, Américain. American. Répétez. Américain. R-I. Ri. Remember to répéter. Américain. 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 Américain.